Bang, boom. Welcome to the show, my friends. Today, we're talking about why you should start a local media company today, like right now. And if you didn't start yesterday, why you should start today. I built a multi six figure local media company in the Catskills in less than 2 years. And I'm telling you right now is still a great time to start a local media company. In this video, I'm going to break down what's happened and with the state of local media across the country, across the world. We will talk about how massive this opportunity is. We'll talk about how to find your niche, even in a quote unquote crowded market, and why you need to move now. There is an advantage here. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the state of local media today. It's dead, it's dying, it's cooked. The turkey is it's overdone. No one's able to eat it anymore. So what happened there was local media had two ways to make money. They made money through subscriptions and they made money through advertisers. At some point along the way, they started prioritizing their advertisers above their subscribers. And so, pretty quickly, you know what happens. The content quality went straight down the boob tube. And at that point, the subscribers aren't going to stick around. So they run for the hills. The local media companies start to figure out, okay, we need to figure out how do we extract as much money as possible as quickly as possible because the writing's on the wall. So they go from sending once a week very high quality content to sending 7, 24 times a week, as many times that they can hit those eyeballs and monetize whatever pennies are left in the coffer. And so, more cadences, lower quality content. And at this point, local media companies are shutting their door all over the place. The smart ones are trying to adjust course. They're trying to get more creative about, how they do survive, not just like how do they plug AI into their workflows or have a AI write for them, because that's not going to offer longevity and sustainability when it comes to survival, in my opinion. So we're left with this massive gap. Every market has these massive gaps where people are desperate for local, authentic, trusted voices that have character, there's real trust there. They want to feel connected to their community. And in my opinion, that's exactly where you come in. So you can start a local media company today because, you know, the ones that exist aren't very good anymore. And so, I would warn you that if you start, don't run the trad local media model. It is already proven to fail. What you need to do is build a local media company built on trust and authenticity. You need to prioritize the reader, not the trad model of prioritizing the advertiser. Like, that's not going to work. A local newsletter done right becomes the connective tissue for your community. It brings everyone together. And when you do it that way, I promise you, I will tell you exactly what is going to happen. You're going to launch this, you're going to send a bunch of content out. We'll talk about content niches, everything next. But when you put out high quality content first and foremost, when you prioritize your community, the local business owners are going to come to you. They're going to come knocking on your door because they are your subscribers. So good quality content matched with specific calls to action for people, readers to become sponsors, advertisers. You don't have to do cold calling. You don't have to beg for ads. They will come to you. And because they want to reach your audience, because they love what you've built. And you position yourself as the expert in your space. So let's just say you're a photographer. You could start a newsletter focused on arts and culture in your market. You can now be selling your services directly to that audience. You could be creating opportunities for yourself to start photography shows, to push a gallery, you name it. Anything's possible. The fun part about local media is that it's kind of like a recipe that you can modify the ingredients to match your market, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you want to build. So in the newsletter club, I work with 200 plus newsletter operators from around the world. They're all running different models. We'll break down models at a different time in a different video. But the cool part is that this can be and should be authentically reflective of who you are as the operator. So it could be everything from a local media company empire across the world. It can be going super deep like I did in one market, in one niche. It can be a local holding company. It can be Sky is the limit. This is your sandbox. So, the point is the opportunity is real, it's massive, but it's built on something that I think old trad local media forgot, which is actually serving the community, not the advertiser, serving the community. So you're like, okay, well, you know what? This is interesting, but there's so many different newsletters in my space. Like the market's already saturated, too crowded. I can't, I missed my shot. Wrong. I think you're wrong. I really do. I fundamentally believe that is flawed logic. When I started Catskill Crew, I had never started a local media company. I'd never written a newsletter in my life. Um, and there were probably over 2 dozen local newsletters in my market, from like established media companies to independently owned and operated local newsletters. I found my niche. I got started. For me, I focused on history, I focused on nature, and I focused on community. And through that process, I carved out a niche in a crowded market. So I think like what you could do is go look around at what media companies exist in your market. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? Just because a local newsletter or local media company exists that covers, the culinary world or something in your market doesn't mean they're actually doing it right. Just because they exist doesn't mean anyone cares. Has anyone ever told you to subscribe to that newsletter and like, man, did you see that article in the latest XYZ edition? Hey, it was so good. Like, no, probably not, because most of these newsletters are just designed to start promoting advertisers, not good quality content. They send 5 times a week because they're trying to maximize the return for advertisers versus offer high quality content to their subscribers. And so, even in the Catskills, even where I am, I'm focused on history, nature, and community, but there's niches. There's so many niches specifically focused on parents, focused on the winter ski scene, focused on elderly, deep diving culinary. I don't really deep dive culinary. So, like, there are still opportunities, and I'm still seeing people in my market pop up. Many of them subscribers who I support. I help them launch these businesses because I don't see them as competitors. Our voice doesn't resonate with everyone. That's not a bug. That's the feature. That means there could be many local newsletters in the same space. But having said that, you can't wait forever on this. So there are room for multiple newsletters and there are niches to fill. But if 5 people start the same newsletter for the same niche, running the same playbook, which is subscriber first, you're not in a good situation. That's not a position I'd want to be in. So the window's open right now, but it might not be open forever. The people who move first, the ones who establish themselves as the quality voice within their niche, are naturally going to have a massive advantage compared to the competition. First mover advantage is very real in local media, especially with this model. So my challenge to you is, if this is interesting to you, go do some research, go see what's out there. Think about what you'd write about, what you want to write about to begin with. You don't have to be an expert writer. I became a writer over the last 2.5 years. Don't let paralysis hold you back. It doesn't have to be perfect on day one. Perfection is the tailwind that moves you in the right direction over time. It's not a headwind. You could start a newsletter in 30 minutes. Go get on Beehive, or I like Beehive personally, but go wherever you want to go. Get that thing spun up. You could have it up and running in no time. Go on Canva, design a logo, start hitting send. We can talk about growth at another time. Like, growth is very easy. Some of the folks, I was just talking to a guy in the newsletter club. He went from 0 to 6,000 subscribers in a couple weeks. Like, growth is easy because people are desperate for this stuff. There is a gap in the market. Then it's the content, then it's the monetization. We'll talk about 3 pillars another time, but you know, get started today. You can do this. Build something really special. Build something that you'd want to read. I think one of the things that never really, in all the conversations I talk about, like, very rarely does this come up, but it's like building Catskill Crew has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. Financially, unbelievably awesome, life changing. But it's the people who come up to me when I'm wearing a Catskill Crew hat, the stories I hear. You can see that the subscriber first model resonates so deeply with folks. And like that tells me I'm still on the right path for my North Star, subscriber first media. It crushes, it works. It's the dogs that are adopted, it's the record breaking days for local businesses, it's the friends that are made. That's the real payoff. That's where it's awesome. So if you're ready to start, smash like, hit the button, subscribe, that button, hit them all at the same time. I'm going to try to put out a video every week talking about all of this stuff, all the things local media, from how to start, how to grow, how to monetize, how to close deals, how to throw events, how to design a newsletter, all the things. So, and if you're super serious, join the newsletter club. Check it out. There's 200 plus of us. We got master classes. We got a Discord. We have weekly calls. We have templates that will get you 8 cents customer acquisition costs. Like it is awesome. We're all working together. It's a big family, but your community's waiting for you. Go give them what they want. Go build something special. Have some fun, and I promise you, this will be one of the most rewarding things you've ever done in your entire life. So, with that being said, be safe. See you out there.